All right, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Tata coming back with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopefully elect. But before I do that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, peace and safety, and much blessings to the Akim that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity and in diligence. All right, man. I was just going over Daniel's second chapter, which is, this is it's prophecy, and that's what, this whole thing is about, man. We coming in the spirit of prophecy, man, the spirit of Yahweh Shai, right? Let's get that real quick. In Revelations, the 19th chapter, the 10th verse, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. And that's what every man of the Lord, man, every true man of the Lord, man, is teaching the true wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shai, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, right? These are the men that is teaching, the spirit, man, teaching the spirit of prophecy, teaching in the spirit of prophecy, So yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna go into. Daniel's second chapter, which is prophecy, man. Because when we read out this book, man, we see these things coming to pass, right? Because these things, were foretold. Look, this Isaiah 34:16. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read." Right? Because doesn't it say in Revelations, the first chapter, it says, blessed is he who readeth. Just roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. It says, no one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. It's talking about these prophecies. Look, it says, for my mouth had commanded, and his spirit had gathered them. You see? So none of these shall fail, man. None of these prophecies shall fail, man, because they're all going to come to pass, man. Did not the Lord say, and what that is? Isaiah 48 chapter. Let's see. The Lord had loved. I declare these things. The Lord had loved him here. Nah, here's another one. It said, let's see. Declared. It's not that one. 45 and 21. This is Isaiah 45 and 21. It says, tell ye and bring them near. Yea, let them take counsel together. Who had declared this from the ancient time? Who had told it from that time? Had not I Yahweh? And there is no power else besides me, a just power and a savior. There is none besides me. So the Most High declared from the beginning, man, from the ancient time, right? And when you did the book of Daniel, that was 500 years, I believe. It was 500 years before Yahweh Shai and thousands of years before America, man. So Daniel was prophesying about America, in his time, man. And here we are today reading the prophecy about America, man, right? So that's why the scriptures say, man, he had declared it from the ancient time. And when we just read right here in, let's see, Isaiah 34 says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. None of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. You see? Hold on, Salakia. Fuck out of here, man. It says, yeah, seek ye out of the book and read. None of these shall fail. So none of these prophecies shall fail, meaning that they're going to come to pass. If the Lord said it, he's not a man that he should lie. So let's get into that Daniels. Salaki. All right, I'm going to start at, I'm going to read up to just give you an overview, let's see. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and he couldn't even remember his dream. I don't think. It says, and I'm gonna read Daniel 2 and 5. I'm gonna read Daniel's I'm gonna start at 1. It says, in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. And the king commanded all the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to shew the king his dreams. For they came and stood before the king, and the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spake the Chaldeans unto the king in Sirach. Did I say that? Sirach. O king, live forever. Tell thy servant the dream, and we will show the interpretation. And the king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. If ye will not make known unto me the dream with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut in pieces, and your house shall be made a dunghill. So he had a dream, but he couldn't even remember his dream. And so he told him, look, man, if you like, basically, okay, you're an astrologer, the sorcerers and the magicians. If you can't tell me my dream, then you're gonna be cut in pieces, man. What you here for? What I need you for, right? It says, but if you show the dream and interpretation thereof, you shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. Now I'm gonna jump down to verse 10. It says, and the Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can shew the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that acts such a thing at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. It is a rare thing that the king required, and there is none that can shew it before the king except the gods whose dwelling is not with flesh. You see? And for this cause the king was very angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. So, basically they was like, man, this is beyond us, man. How are we supposed to know this? Only way you're gonna know this is if you're dealing with the gods that does not dwell within flesh, right? But you gotta understand, we have a true living power, right? So this is why Daniel was brought into the scene, okay? Because what? It's a man of the Lord, man. The Most High was dealing with Daniel on a high scale, man. So he had to chiefly always, you got to go to the men of the Lord. So like it is now today, they got all these false doctrines out there, all these made up doctrines, these feel good doctrines, these doctrines that's watered down, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, all these things don't give you the end game, right? It doesn't give you the end. They tell you all these things, but it don't give you the end game, okay? But with Daniel, you had to go to Daniel like you got to do today to get the true doctrine of the Lord. You got to go to the men of the Lord, who the Lord is dealing with. So King Nebuchadnezzar had to go to Daniel. All right. So I'm going to jump down to what is it? All right. Hold up. Damn it. It says, I'm going to start at verse 31. It says, thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. The great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image, see, Daniel's telling him, through the spirit and power of the living power, right? Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It says, this image head was of gold, his breasts and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass. All right, that gold represents the Babylonian Empire. All right, his breasts and his arms of silver represents the Medo-Persian Empire, and his belly and his thighs of brass represents the Greek Empire. Okay, we're gonna get into that. Check it out. Verse 33, it says, his legs of iron, which is the Roman Empire, his feet part of iron and part of clay, represents the NATO and the EU, which is back today. All right, the NATO and the EU, which makes up the ancient Roman Empire, is here back today. Okay, when you read the Revelations, the 13th chapter, he's the beast that exercises all the powers of the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. That's the NATO and the EU back today as the Roman Empire. Okay, verse 34, it says, Thou sawest till that stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them into pieces. And that stone is Yahweh Shai. Okay, what it is, Isaiah the 28th chapter. That is not it. Yeah, look, check it out. This is Isaiah 28:16. It says, therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. All right, so who's that ultimate stone, man? Yahweh Shai, man, which is what he was made as a stumbling block. Let's see. Let me go. Where is it? I want to say it's another one. Oh yeah, check it out. This is Isaiah 8:14. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, and a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. He's talking about Yahweh Shai, that same stone that was rejected by the builders. Let's see. I know it's in here. I don't know. It's gonna be in Romans, but that's not the one I had wanted. But I mean, it's the same thing right here. We know who that stone is. Look, Peter's. In 1 Peter, it says, 1 Peter 2:6, it says, wherefore also it is contained in the scriptures, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. But unto them which is disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same made the head of the corner. All right, and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them that would stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. You see, so that stone was Yahweh Shai. Okay, Salaki. All right, let's go back to. Let's go back to. Damn, keep clicking on that. Let's go back to that Isaiah. I mean, Daniel's. This is Daniel's 2. And let's go back down. All right, so that stone which was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet. All right, and it says it smote the image on his feet because Yahweh Shai is going to come back and destroy all this, man. And who's going to be ruling at the time of Yahweh Shai's return? These Edomites, man. You see? It says, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, which is the NATO and the EU back today, man. I mean, so like, which is the NATO and the EU, which is the Roman Empire back today, which is ruled by who, man? These Edomites, man. He said he smote the image upon his feet, and the feet represents the last kingdom, man. The end of this devil's empire. So it says that he smote the image. That stone smote the image. So when Yahweh shall return, hey, he's going to take this devil out of power. It said, which were iron and clay, and break them into pieces. Verse 35, it says, then was the iron and clay and brass, the silver, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken into pieces together, because America is all these kingdoms rolled up in one, right? Which is the NATO and the EU, man, right? All rolled up in one, man, right? Okay, so it says they were all smoked together, right, and became like the chaff of the summer of the threshing floors, and the wind carried them away. So when Yahweh shall return, he's coming to destroy, man. He's coming to, all these philosophies that's in the planet Earth, man. All these different, gods and deities and all these things. He's coming to break that shit up, man. He's coming to restore righteousness on the planet Earth, man. Right? Because when you read Haggai, the 22nd chapter, the 22nd verse, it says, and I will overthrow the kingdoms, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of kingdoms of the heathens. You see, and America upholds all these ancient, these past kingdoms, philosophies, man. You find all that here, right here in America, man. That's why it says in Revelations the 18th chapter that it is the house, it is the I don't want to jangle it. This is Revelations 18:2. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. And we know that America is also known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures. It says it's fallen and it's become the habitation of devils, the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage to every unclean and hateful bird. And that's what America is. It's all these kingdoms rolled up in one. Okay? Let me see. Back in Haggai, it says, and I'm going to read it over. It says, 22, it says, I will overthrow the kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. So that's what Yahweh Shai is going to come do, man. He's going to take all these philosophies out of the world, the way how you do business and commerce, the way how how people think, man, how women act, how these 2/3 act, and he's gonna come put this devil in his place, man. Right? He's gonna put this devil exactly where he belongs. Right? Verse 23. In that day, said Yahweh, I will take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, which in this passage represents the elect. It says the son of Shealtiel, said the Lord, I will make thee as a signet. When you go into that word signet, it's like a seal, right? It's a seal because the 144 is sealed, man, right? He's gonna have the 144, which will be sealed when the return of Yahweh shall come, man, right? For I have chosen thee, said Yahweh, right? So it says he's going to overthrow the kingdoms, man. And that's exactly what's happening in Daniel's the 2nd chapter right here, when he says that he's broken to pieces together, right? And became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, and that no place was found for them. Check it out. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, the 7th. Man, it's hot as fuck up in this motherfucker, man. Turn this heat off. Let's see. Check it out. This is 1 Corinthians 7:31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. So, and that's exactly what the Lord is going to do, man. He's going to take the fashion of this world away, man. Right? He's going to be that stone that was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, man. Okay? So it says, reading in the middle part of 35, it says that no place was found for them, and the stone that was smote against the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth, because Yahweh Shai's kingdom is going to be on the planet Earth, man. He's going to reign. He's going to establish, dominion in this place, man. It's like it speaks about in Daniel's the 7th chapter, and we're going to go there, right? Check it out. Well, I'm gonna just get it right now. Daniel 7. Let's see, Daniel 7 and I'm gonna start at 13. It says, and I saw a night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man, who came with clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. You see, one like the Son of Man, which is Yahweh Shai. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and language shall serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, man. You see? Let's go back to the Daniel 2nd chapter. I'm gonna keep reading, but the point where I want to get that is down here, but we're gonna get it. But check it out. See, even the scholars know, man. The scholars even know, right? Babylon, the first kingdom. It says, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the power of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowl of the heaven hath he given unto thy hand, and had made thee ruler over all them. Thou art this head of gold, which is the Babylonian Empire, the ancient Babylonian Empire. You see, this is the dream. I mean, this is the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, and Daniel's interpreting it, man. Verse 39. And after all these shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee. You see, and you gotta understand, when you deal with the statue, it was different type of metals, right? You had gold, and you had which was silver, then you had brass, and then iron. Okay, it weakens. Okay, it says, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over the earth, right? The Medo-Persian and Greece Empire, man, right? Check it out. Look, verse 40, and this is Rome right here. See, the scholars, look, read your Bible. The fourth kingdom is Rome. You see, that fourth beast is Rome when you read Daniel the 7th chapter, and we're gonna get it. It says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, right? For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdued all things, as the iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise, man, because Rome was gonna fall just like these other kingdoms, man, right? You know, verse 41, it says, whereas thou saw the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay, man. All right, and that's going into what, man? Right, these other nations, you know, you got the NATO and you got the EU, but you got, and it says the iron, right, which is the ancient Roman Empire, right, and you got the miry clay, which is these weaker nations, right? Because let's see, that's you got the nations that have a strong economical system, and you got these other nations that have a weaker economical system. See, that's what that iron and that miry clay mixed together mean, right? Okay, you got the NATO and the EU here. Verse 42, and as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that's exactly what I just went into, you know, partly strong and partly broken. So you got like, they all come together to make up the modern Roman Empire, right? But you got some parts of it that are strong and some parts are weak, economically strong, economically weak. But all of them do what? All of them got what? Nuclear capability, man. Damn near got nuclear capabilities. You see? And whereas thou saw the iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. See, and they say they shall mingle with one another. And when you read what that is, the second chapter. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Always doing this bitch ass shit. Every time a plane pass over. This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, man. And that's what this devil do, man. He go to all these different places and present his democracy, and they get in bed with him, man, right? Do all this shit, and then you know what he do. You know what the devil do, you know? He get in bed with him, and then he stab their ass in the back, man. You know, that's exactly what's going to happen, because that's what it says in Daniel's 2nd chapter. It says that but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay, man. You see? But look, let's go to this Daniel 7th chapter. Oh shit. Daniel's the 7th chapter. Let's see. Let's go into that fourth beast real quick. Where is that? It's up here. Salaki. This is Daniel 7:7. It says, and after this, hold up. All right. It says, and after this I saw a night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, that had great iron teeth, man. It's talking about the Roman Empire, man. Right? It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet thereof. And that residue represents the southern kingdom, because that's who the Romans had in subjection and slavery, in servitude. Right? Because the northern kingdom had already, after the Assyrian Empire, they already came over to the Americas. Right? It says, and it was diverse from all the other beasts that were before it, and had 10 horns. So it was diverse from all the beasts from before, because its government system, how they had made a senate house, how they dealt with things. It was diverse from all the beasts before, and it had 10 horns. You see? And that's the same 10 horns that spoke about in Revelations, the 13th chapter. So that's how it's talking about Rome, man. Right? It's talking about the Roman Empire. Damn it. Look, it says, let's go. Look, this is Romans 13:1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. And the sea represents people, man. When you read Revelations, the 17th chapter, the 15th verse, it says, having, and you can look that up yourself. It says, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And 7 heads is let's see, that's Greek, the Greeks, the Romans, Germania Major, Germania Minor, France, Spain, and Britain. Okay. It says, and having 10 horns, and 10 horns represents the EU, man. So those 7 heads represents the NATO, and the 10 horns represents the EU. Now today, man, and upon his 10 horns, 10 crowns, and upon his head was the name of blasphemy. And America is full of blasphemy. Everything that it does, from the way how they govern themselves, from the laws, the legislatures, how they say that the angels in heavens are little white babies, and our great King Yahweh Shai is a so-called white man, and the real Jews and the real Jews are in the land already. All that's blasphemy, man. Right? It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, which goes back to Alexander the Creep, right? And it says, and his feet were like the feet of the bear, all right? And that goes into Russia, man. It says that the feet, because that's the end of the kingdom, right? Because then we read in Daniel, it said he smote the feet, right? This is the end. The bear represents Russia, which is the end of the kingdom, which shall destroy, which will going to destroy America, man. Shoot nuclear missiles over here, right? Because when you check out Russia, their symbol is the bear, It says, and his mouth was as the mouth of a lion, which represents Great Britain, because all the forefathers of America came out of Great Britain. All right. It says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Verse 3, it says, and I saw one of his heads were wounded to death, which is the ancient Roman Empire, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, man. And his deadly wound was healed during the time of the Renaissance period, right? That's whenever his wound was healed, from the Renaissance period all the way up until now, right? His deadly wound was healed, okay? So, but I just wanted to go in there to just, about those 10, those 10 crowns, right? So the ancient Roman Empire, man, whenever it fell, man, through when Septimius Severus, man, took them down, right? After that, you what they call it with the Dark Ages, and then you had the Renaissance period, all right? So let's go back to that Daniel's. Verse 8, it says, then considered, I considered the horn, and beheld there came up among them another little horn, which is America, before whom there were 3 of the first horn plucked up out of the root, which America got its independence. So there was France, Spain, and Britain, Great Britain, right? Because America gained its independence from Great Britain, right? Hence Independence Day. And behold, on this horn were like eyes in the eyes of a man, and the mouth speaking great things. Right? And because America, it says this horn was like the eyes of a man, because it was an intelligent kingdom, man. All right, this devil did his diddy bop, you know. And when I say this devil did his diddy bop, you know, he studied to pray, man. You know, he studied to pray. He did what he was supposed to. The Most High gave him, you know, the knowledge to be able to rule in wickedness on this side, man. Because does not the scripture say that the children of darkness is wiser than the children of light? All right. So this kingdom that he had, you know, is great on the left hand side. So let's go back to at Daniel's 2nd chapter. It says, yeah, it says, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, and they shall mingle themselves, as we brought out the Habakkuk, with the seed of men, and they shall not cleave to one another, even as the iron is not mixed with clay. And you see, we seeing that now, man, right? Because they're not cleaving to one another, because they got the brink of World War III is coming, you know, and we seeing it. Like World War III is, I mean, any day now, right? And you have these weaker nations, the clay, you know, telling the stronger nations, the iron, look, man, we don't want to go to war. And so that's why Revelations that's not it, but I know it's down here. Yo, this is Revelation 17:6. It says, in the 10 horns, which would be the EU nations, you got, it said the 10 horns, but you got to understand, they added more nations. They added, it's like 28 of them now. But it all goes back to those 10 horns, man, because that was the start of it, man. You know, with the EEC, all right? Back in what that was, 1958, right? And you had the Treaty of Rome signed before that, 1957, right? This all comes into play, man. That's why these scriptures are cold, man. It's prophecy. It's just prophecy, right? I'm gonna start saying that. Man, it's just prophecy, all right? It says, in 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, they shall hate the whore. And who is that whore, man? America's that whore that sitteth upon the beast, man, that sitteth upon many waters, right? It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, man, right? So America is that whore that sitteth upon many waters, man. It says that. Does it say that? I saw the woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast. And verse 3 says, and so he carried me away. Verse 3 says, so he carried me away in the spirit in the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit, which is America, saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast full of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, man. That's America. You see? So yeah, man. You know? Hey, the time of that the beast shall hate the whore, hey, it's coming, man. It's coming, and what we do, we just have to hold fast to prophecy, which is gonna keep our faith, you know, elevated, man. Because when you see things that are written in these scriptures happening, you know, it elevates your faith. Like we seeing that the charagma is in place and it's in your mainstream news. Hey, that boosts a brother's faith, man. You know, because hey, that lets us know that we're almost out of here. Okay. So, you know, that was just, like I said, man, I was just meditating. That was my take on that, man. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopefully lit. We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Akim that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity and diligence. Shalom.